Yeah.
And if their only quality bowl win is against a third-string quarterback.
Well, Andrew, let me say this.
As the best conference.
I think it's been a really bad bowl season for the SEC, but tonight is what it's all about. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything that happened yesterday. I thought it was a disastrous day for the Mississippi schools. But if Alabama beats Ohio State, forget the third-string quarterback. That's easy to say, but this is also one of the top 4 teams in the country according to the playoff committee. So I don't think you can quite marginalize your point to that extent. But the bigger question is if Alabama loses tonight. But right now they're up 21-13.
The clean pocket. He's just sitting back there, Paul. He's continuing. He's 12 for his last 17. He just continues to sit back there.
Half. It's not identical, but Alabama looked really bad at the end of the second quarter against Auburn. This has happened a couple of times. I'm not sure what the explanation is because they're different type of games. But Alabama really had this game in hand, and it's not slipping away, but they're certainly making it more interesting.
You see the umpire holding play right there, allowing Alabama to substitute.
Cardello's putting himself quite well.
Well, he understands he's a bigger guy. He knows I can't run around the corner like we've seen Nick Marshall and some of the other quarterbacks, so he's hitting downhill.
Sprint right rub right there by Ohio State. Alabama actually goes with a zone principle defensively, which is exactly what you want against that offensive play. A good job by Kirby Smart recognizing the formation and getting them the correct defensive call.
Kirby better get some.
And on the other hand, has Alabama put themselves in this situation by just forgetting about Derrick Henry in the game earlier? I mean, he was pounding it, and now they played around, and here's Ohio State in a position to make this almost an even game at half. Let's see what happens.
The timeout by Ohio State right there. That could prove costly if, in fact, Cardale Jones gets sacked right here. That would force their hand a little bit. They'd have to throw it into the end zone. This is a good job right here of him escaping north and south. Poor tackling. Really poor tackling by Nick Perry, but you see it. A good job. He's starting to get in a rhythm. He's starting to get going. He's a streaky passer. He can throw it. And he also is making some plays with the
Seth is in Missouri. Go right ahead, Seth.
Hey, I was just wondering if Urban Meyer loses tonight to the Crimson Tide, do you think it kind of puts an end to the whole debate over who's the best coach? Or
well, let me jump in here quickly. Right now, there isn't much debate. Saban is considered the best coach in the game. Urban, in my book, is number 2. So there's no shame in losing to Nick Saban. Pretty much everyone does.
Here's a little trickeration pass. That's a great catch.
I think he got the toe down.
Put down.
Little trickerations. Hey, when it works, it's a great thing.
And that's a guy you got to watch out for. Michael Thomas, big number 3 wide receiver. He's 6'3", 200. He's a guy that can take it the distance every time you throw him the football. Caught several slants, bursted, and scored against a lot of competition this year. Let's see if he gets that foot down.
I think he did.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because
that looks good.
Because his heel was up. I think his heel is up. Let's see from this angle. Heel stayed up.
That's an outstanding catch.
I see a little shadow under there. Yeah, it's just amazing.
That's a touchdown. That's a really, really good catch.
Alabama had a 21-6 lead, and here we are at the end of the half. Half ending very similarly to the Iron Bowl.
2 touchdowns at the end of this half really changed the whole face of the Sugar Bowl right now. Okay?
I mean, we were all thinking that Alabama was a couple of plays away from putting it, and there was a third down play, I remember, on Ohio State, Alabama.
And the game has changed because Cardale Jones has gotten comfortable.
Right.
And Urban Meyer made the adjustment. Okay? The running game was struggling going inside. I'm going to now allow Cardale Jones to throw the football, and Alabama is not getting any individual one-on-one pass rush. And you see this young man getting very, very comfortable. and they just beat Cyrus Jones right there. Great one-on-one play, great throw, great catch. The adjustment has been made by Ohio State. Their quarterback has gotten comfortable. When is Alabama going to make the adjustment and put some pressure on this young man? That's been the turning point from 21-6 to now going from an extra point to being 21-20. No pass rush and great throws from Cordell Jones.
He has made some really, really good throws. It all goes back to that drop by DeAndrew White. You drop the ball on third down, people can cash in. If he catches that, they extend the drive. They might have the opportunity to even
see what
themselves.
the mood in Alabama is right now. Jim is in Tuscaloosa. What's going on, Jim?
You know, Paul, I don't speak for the mood of everybody else. I just speak for my own mood. And, I don't sugarcoat either. I don't care what it's about. I don't think you do anybody a good service by sugarcoating when you just need to tell it like it is. That's what I've always done. That's always what I try to do. I think they stink tonight. I think they look bad. I think Oregon outclasses them and looks twice as good as Alabama. Stronger team. I don't see any way, unless a miracle happens again, for Alabama, if they win tonight, to beat Oregon. But let's face it, Alabama's D is horrible. They don't tackle. They miss tackles. All you got to do, mine's a smart guy. All you got to do is...
Jim, you do know we're playing the national semifinal of college football right here.
Well, you can laugh if you want to, Booger, but I'm just telling it like it is. All you got to do is throw the ball over 20 yards down the field, and Alabama's pass defense is horrible.
Well, you know what, Jim? I'll agree with you. The pass defense has been horrible for a couple of reasons. No pass rush, and there Cyrus Jones got beat one-on-one. So I will agree. I'm not going to overreact, though, Jim, and say that they can't win next week.
Overreact?
Yes.
This has been going on all year.
Yeah, but
Alabama barely escaped in overtime against LSU, but barely escaped against Auburn.
Jim, we are not talking about an 8-5 team here. We're talking about the #1 team in the country that still leads. That still leads at halftime in the national semifinal.
Best doesn't mean best anymore as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing best. There's nothing best. Alabama's got a strong team. We know that, but they've also got a deficient team.
Listen, the stats support what you're saying, but what would satisfy you, Jim?
To take a little, I don't know what. There's nothing that can satisfy me now because Alabama just literally doesn't have what they need to have. Yet they keep winning.
And what do they need to have? They're still.
If you keep winning, you can't complain. I'm just saying though. Every game they play like this and barely get away and win. So, what can I say?
Jim, this is Alabama football, though. Greg knows exactly what I'm talking about. He lived it. He won a national championship.
Greg played on a team that never came this close to being this deficient. Never. That's the difference.
They were in trouble in the Auburn game, if I remember. But I bet Greg does, too.
Well,
he played on a much better team than this team, Paul.
Look, there's reason to overreact, sure. Alabama, especially in the second quarter, has not looked good. If I'm Ohio State, frankly, I'm feeling great about the way things have gone in the first half. I've turned it over twice. I'm down 1 point. I'm moving the football. Everything seems to be working. And if I'm Alabama, I'm just happy right now to have the lead because I'm getting outplayed. Now, look, it's a 60-minute game. We've seen half of it. There's no reason to sit here and start saying, oh, well, Alabama's clearly flawed. They clearly have issues.
Right.
There's no reason to press the panic button. We said the same thing in the Auburn game when people were saying, pull Blake Sims.
At halftime of the Auburn game, Alabama was on the ropes.
Yeah. It was ugly.
Leaning on the ropes hard.
And then the first drive of the second half, Blake Sims throws an interception. So look, these guys are battle tested, all right? They are battle tested. They've been in big games. A lot of these guys, the seniors in particular, have been a part of 2 national championship teams. They know what it's like to come back. They know what it's like to rebound. So all the fans out there need to quit pressing the panic button. They're winning by a point. Granted, they've gotten outplayed, but there's plenty of time to be able to solve the issues. And Nick Saban, Kirby Smart,
is that okay with you, Jim?
They'll do a good job.
I don't have a panic button, Greg. I'm just telling it like it is. Alabama doesn't play with authority anymore. They're lucky as they can be to be where they are tonight, having the same thing happen against LSU and they escaped that death trap. They escaped the Auburn death trap. And they're having
they didn't escape. Blake Sims led them all the way down the field.
I'm not talking about Blake Sims, Paul. I'm talking about the horrible defense. That's the area they're so weak in.
Well,
this
Jim,
horrible defense.
Here's the thing I'll say, Jim. They lead the country in run defense, and that's been a staple of a Nick Saban team ever since he's been there.
What are you talking about? I don't care what they did last night. This tonight we're talking about.
Jim, my point is they have not lost. I mean, you're talking like this game is over. Alabama is leading the football
they'll
game.
probably win the game. I'm just telling those the facts.
Okay.
That Alabama's not a dominant team. Never have been this year.
Why do they have to be a dominant team?
The name of the game is to win, Jim.
I guess y'all don't want my comment. I mean, it's all right for me to comment the way I do it.
Yeah,
It's just
you're
just trying to calm you down. It's okay. You can feel however you want to feel.
No, hey, Greg, I'm not panicking. I don't panic. I don't care what they do if they want to lose, but I'm just telling you the quality is not there as it should be. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Well, listen, your opinion is your opinion. We were just simply countering it, Jim.
Yeah, I know that, Paul. But my opinion is usually dead on, and you know that too. You know that.
Well, no, listen, I understand. I mean, there is frustration now because this game was 21-6. Now it's 21-20. If it ended right now, Alabama would go play Oregon for the national championship. But
well, I'm giving Booger a real laugh tonight. He's just laughing his tail off, isn't he?
No, Jim, and I understand how you feel, but I also understand it's football, and it's a way that sometimes we overreact.
Hey, Booger, this is my first rodeo, so please excuse me.
Jim, this is not your first rodeo. But Jim, calm down. Let's relax. We have a half to play, and let's see if this Alabama defense. We saw the same Alabama defense against Auburn looked bad, but then they came back and they played better in the second half. I think we're going to see the adjustments being made, and I think the number one adjustments that are going to be made.
One thing Paul can tell you after I hang up, right, Paul?
What's that, Jim?
I gave them their money's worth, didn't I?
No, well, that's why we pay you so much. Thank you, Jim.
And what do you think they're doing, Bug? What are they coming out with in the second half?
If you're Alabama, I think you come out and do what Alabama always does, is try to establish the run game and get Amari Cooper the football. I'm more concerned about the defense. They got 21 points on the board. I'm concerned about how they're letting Cardale Jones just sit in the pocket. That has to change. If that doesn't change, if he has a clean pocket, Alabama can't win they can't win the ball game in the second half if he's comfortable and he has a clean pocket, because he's proving right now on the last couple of drives he can lead them down the field.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's proven that.
If biscuits look the same in the end, does it matter where they came from? Does it matter if they're made 18 days ago or 18 minutes? Does it make a difference if they're made by a machine in a factory or made by hand by a single person? We think so, because there's nothing fresh about frozen biscuits.
The made-from-scratch double-loaded omelet biscuit. New at Hardee's.
Hi, Phil Swift here. This is Flex Shot, the easy way to caulk, bond, and seal. Simply push the trigger to make quick repairs with pinpoint accuracy. Flex Shot fills huge cracks and holes, making everything completely waterproof. And it's mildew resistant, perfect for kitchens and baths. Flex Shot is a super strong adhesive that lasts up to 30 years. Water gushes out of this huge hole. But after it's sealed with Flex Shot, there's absolutely no leaks. That's amazing. You can get Flex Shot for just...
To Finebaum Film Room, presented by Dr. Pepper.
We welcome you back to the film room. We're at the halftime. Again, a reminder, this is not the actual Sugar Bowl broadcast. This is an alternate channel, so to speak, not the SEC network, but what we're doing is giving commentary. The game is on ESPN. And speaking of the game, let's get inside a little bit more, Greg.
Well, to me, it comes down to third downs defensively. Alabama has almost squeezed the life out of the Ohio State Buckeyes there. They had them bottled up for a quarter and a half, with the exception of the missed tackles by Eddie Jackson and the long run that ensued. So they have to do a better job attacking Cardale Jones. This is a young player. When you're a young player early in your development, Ohio State is going to probably use some max protections where they're not really that concerned with getting guys out in the routes. They're more concerned about making Cardale Jones feel comfortable. You respond to that by blitzing him from all directions, especially blitzes from outside the tackles. Ohio State is a heavy slide protection team where they take all 5 guys, they move in one direction and slide to pick up the widest defender. If you blitz outside of those defenders, you could have some success. Expect Alabama to pick up the pace and try to dictate defensively because they've been passive so far, and they're better than that. They're better than the way they've played on third down so far.
What about it?